No.
Let's go chew the fat. Welcome to another episode of Raw. We're James, Jimbo from F45 Byron Bay.
Thanks for having me, Scotty.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks.
This is my little home for, how long was I coming here for? Like 2 years, a year and a half?
Oh, no.
Every day. Scott 45 we called it.
That's good variation.
It was a nice
to throw in.
And all the classes up here, like in an F45 class, you see all the stuff. I'm looking at stuff, I'll show you some shots of it. It's over 45 minutes, but I call mine Scott 45 because there was a lot of jaw exercise, especially in James's class where there's a lot of eye candy, and you got to talk to all these pretty girls because it's busy. You're like jam-packed. If you haven't tried an F45 class, you should probably travel to Byron Bay to try this one because I've tried a few. And this was the best one, and because James runs it.
It's bloody good to have you back in here, mate. You've certainly missed you around here. So great to see you back.
You know, the thing why F45 worked for me was because it was that 45 minutes. On the days where you just can't be asked, can't be asked. You know, you just turn up and you just, all right, follow that one, get confused, and you go through the process and you get it done. So James, we were chatting before with James because he wasn't always an F45er. He's an ex-professional AFL player for the Lions. Him and Jason Ackermanis.
That was Jordo.
No, you as well. But you were in insurance or finance or something before?
Yeah. So I grew up in pubs. So I spent my first 26 years in pubs. The old man owned them. And then when I moved to the Gold Coast, got involved in insurance, which was a good gig, but just coincidentally an F45 opened up next to my office and they sent in a flyer, come and try it out. Did a month and got addicted to it, just loved it, loved the environment, the community feel. It was almost like being part of a footy club again. And so one day, me and the wife having a drink on the back balcony and I was telling her about it and we noticed Byron Bay was available, the area.
What's the deal?
And we said, shit, let's do it. And next day she rang me at work and said I bought it. We own F45 Byron Bay. So
how did you find out about it? Were you looking on the computer?
Yeah, just back in those days, because it was quite new, they had all the areas available up on their website.
Yeah.
So pretty much the Gold Coast where we were living was all taken, and then we saw Byron and thought, shit, that's cool. It's good. Some good friends of ours had just moved down, and we'd visit them and thought, yeah, really, that's a great spot. And anyway, took the plunge. Thought, let's give it a go. We won't know. She just sold her cafe, which was very successful, and she just sold her cafe, and I was just.
Was that cafe selling Farm and Joe muesli at the time?
I don't think it was. It certainly was. Yeah, it was its biggest seller.
Oh, so
yeah,
I'm glad.
And
I'm glad you benefited
Toby's
from.
Estate Coffee was just pumping out through the.
It's a good combination. Toby's and Farm and Joe.
But yeah, it was a good time. The girls our two daughters were at a good age to give it a go, and shit, we'll never know if we don't. So here we are, and it's been the best thing we've ever done. It's been unbelievable.
And what's this, year 3 for you?
Third year, yeah. So started in September 2017. Always a bit of a worry. Being Byron was a very traditionally yoga sort of centralised place, I guess. So we weren't sure how it would get received. Being a franchise is a bit of a worry, but we thought the best way to get in and dip our toe in the water and have a good presence ourselves. So make sure we're in here, getting out in the community, and it's worked really well.
3 years of Byron. I mean, it is a yoga town, but now you look at like Byron, it's like there's F45s, there's CrossFits, there's There's a gym in every corner.
Yeah.
There's more gyms in coffee shops. That's not normal.
Yeah.
Normally it's coffee shops.
100%.
Every corner you go.
100%. And it's great that people. Well, we just want people to be moving any which way. So if they get it through CrossFit, get it through Pilates, yoga, whatever, F45, great. But it's such a beautiful spot to live, great spot to be active. So we're just pumped.
You did choose quite a posh spot to put your F45. You chose Habitat, one of Byron's newest, let's call it grooviest developments.
Yeah.
I think that was a good entry.
Yeah, and fortuitously, because that was the only spot we could put it. So with the amenities, the car parking, but as it turned out, it's just been the perfect spot for us. Really good community here, got bar downstairs, heaps of, and it's a beautiful space in terms of F45s. I think it's would rate really highly in terms of aesthetic appeal and being open air, plenty of natural light, so high ceilings. So it's worked out.
And dog friendly. And crash.
Dog friendly.
James is one of the only F45s that does provide dog daycare facilities and childcare facilities, so there's no excuse when it comes to fitness not to come to F45 Byron Bay. I've tried a few F45s, like I said before, and there was no doggy daycare and there was no child facilities. So this man here provides the extra bit. And
that's
if your
it.
dog
Just want
does,
to make it accessible for everyone, so good morning classes, lunchtime classes, Arvo classes. At the start, everyone said no, only put on a few, and then gradually fill them up. And I think we just got to give everyone the option to start off. And I remember the first 3 months, some days there was one person coming at lunchtime, and I'd just do it with him. It was
one-on-one.
Oh, Matty, just sit and get around, and you get to know people that way, and. But gradually it's built up, and now we get 20 plus in there, which is...
What is the maximum you can have in a class?
Each class is different, but generally 36 is the maximum.
36.
Yeah. So it's depending on the setup and the like, but 36 is a good number.
And the proportion that, when I come to this class, I'm always excited because there's lots of women. When I went to the other F45 and Sunshine, I think it was Malula Bar or something like that, the one in Surrey Hills, it was more men.
Yeah.
So I always thought maybe this is more, because when I first came in I thought maybe this is more for women, until I went to some other classes and it was much more male dominated than women. So it's just, Byron statistics is, I think it's 9 women to 1 guy.
Is that right?
It's really high. So it's a great place to be if you're a single fella.
No, and we definitely started out probably 80-20. Does that have the perception that it's for women aged 25 to 40 and no one else can do it? But it gradually, I know, it was a great system for myself. A lot of the footy club that I played with started to get involved, and then it gradually just grew. And it's, as you know yourself, mate, it's good for men, women, old, young.
That's what I was going to say.
Fit, old, whatever.
People might turn up here because if you come in like an F45, I don't mind, because I don't care. I don't mind causing, hi, I'm here. Well, some people might come to the door and see it all going off, and because there's no receptionist to say, hi, how are you, that the trainers are training, you just got to walk in and just wait and come back when the class is finished, because it doesn't have a reception. You just got to find your time and come in, because I think some people might be put off by that as a barrier. But the other thing is that what I've seen with F45s is, whether you're old, young, male, female, it doesn't matter. It's you give the class what you're prepared to give it, and you get from it what you're prepared to get back in return. So there's total diehards and hardcore people, but there's also people like me just come along just to get it done. And then there's older people who just do it because it's good for them. It's not all a bit heavy. Some people might be watching it and think, oh, it's a bit too intense, whatever. It's not. I'm looking around this room now and we'll get some shots for you. There's a lot of lightweights, a lot of body resistance, there's a lot of stuff that just, it's for everyone. And then the other part, which is I found really good about F45, was the social side of it. It's like people, you go to the gym and it's it's a fucking house, come on. You don't really get that here unless it's near the end of the class and everyone just falls to their ass and goes, I think that's one thing that F45 has captured for people to make it accessible to young and old. I don't know, even when my kids came here, they'd love to pick stuff up and throw stuff. Are they ever going to do like a kids 45?
Yeah, there is a kids program available, so not sure whether we'll introduce it to Byron. It's
is it available now?
Yep.
In F45?
Yeah, some of the bigger ones are doing it in more populated areas. I guess it's just trying to fit it into your weekly program, like surfing, dancing, footy, soccer. If there's the demand to get a few sort of gym type sessions in as well, it's something we'll have to look at. But
or maybe mixed. You could do like mums and daughters.
that would be
dads
ideal,
and
but
sons
at
well.
the moment it's got to be under 16s and over 16. So that would be so good. And we've even got some 16-year-olds coming in training with their parents, which is just a bloody highlight. I love seeing it, and I can't wait till my girls can come in and smash it out as well.
This is fun. And I think that's what my daughter says to me the other day. She's 10. She said, "Oh, if you don't go to the gym, you're going to get fat." And I said, "Well, what do you mean by fat? What does that mean for you as a word?" Because people go to the gym for many reasons. It can be mental happiness, it can just be a physical exercise, it can just be to get big. And she went, "What do you mean to get big? You don't go to the gym to get big." I said, "Well, some people do." She didn't get that. Her vision of fitness right now is not to get fat. And she goes, "Oh, Frankie's fat." I said, "Frankie's not fat. Frankie's a larger body type than you and strong. She's stronger." So what do you, is it just getting through these small observations that they make from schoolyard?
Yeah.
If you're that body shape, then you're this. If you're that, you're that. But like, try to explain to her how people do certain things, not just necessarily to be bigger or smaller. It could just be for happiness, or just part of their life. Because they used to say to me, "Daddy, you don't have any tattoos, so you're not strong." I said, "What?" She went, "You got no bullshit tattoos, you can't be strong." I said, "Where are you getting that from?" It's like the imagery that you're getting. The first thing I thought of was maybe they're watching like rugby or something. But I don't watch rugby. We don't watch television. We watch Netflix or documentaries. So that imagery must be coming through to them from maybe YouTube or some of the stuff they're watching, and they've associated tattoos to be strong. I tried to explain to them, and Sally tried to explain to them how tattoos, something cosmetic that you choose to do for yourself, has a meaning. It's not about being strong or being weak or being tough or whatever it is, it's just what it is. But it says, look, try to grab those small things before they become part of their thinking, moving forward in their life. So, but it's really interesting, like when I go to that other gym, I've popped out the other gym up the road because it's got a little crash there, won't mention it. And they come out and they get involved. So they got these, those like, what do you call them? Is it TRX things?
Yeah.
So they kind of got versions of them, but the round ones. And I said to the guys, don't touch, straight away, don't touch things. And before you know it, my twins had grabbed them and they're swinging on them. I thought, that fucking looks fun, I want to have a shot of that. So I just stopped telling them no, and I just let them freestyle around. So your pushy thing where you got to push things up, they go and push it, then you jump on it, and they're like, try and push it with me, try and push it with me. It's like,
yeah, good.
There's a real opportunity to make all this stuff that we see as, I'm not going to say it's an issue, it's an obstacle or part of our fitness, but for them it's just an exploration of fun, another version of fun. I'm just watching them do it. It's like, I want you to go on those TRX and just swing like a kid. They treated it like a swing part of it. I thought, that's it's interesting when you put the kids in the same environment where we are. Like, I'd say to my daughter Olivia, plank for a minute. She can do it on one hand and read a book. It's a doddle. For me,
Yeah.
They don't see those issues as everything we see as part of our fitness. For them, it's just it's a level of fun again. And I want to kind of harness that with Mike. What age are your kids?
12 and 10, nearly 11, 12 and 11, call it. And,
do they give you any of that stuff? Do they any barriers or boundaries in their mind that they can't do that? Do you hear that from them?
Yeah, plenty of it. And I think especially with the social media these days, the growing the body image portrayals on Instagram and the like, it's going to be a challenge coming up in these sort of formative years for them. So, and that's where you try and encourage them just to move their body, and that's all it is, not about doing X amount of reps or lifting X amount of weights. It's just get yourself moving any way you can, and I love that. And I remember I spoke to this lady on a plane a few years ago, and she was an athletics coach, and she was just bemoaning how these days all the up-and-coming athletes, their bodies are really soft, and she put it down to that they don't have that natural play that probably we were exposed to when we were kids, like climbing trees, jumping fences, you know, running down and picking up rocks and throwing them at each other, all that sort of stuff. She said they're not getting anywhere near enough of that now, and so yeah, certainly try and encourage that with our kids just to move, you know.
Yeah, it seems that life's becoming choreographed, and social media. I think social media and those things can be very beneficial to create nice messages or information, but it can also have the opposite side where, and there's a lot like, for children. There's so much going through their minds, so much, especially for girls. I got girls, you got girls, so they're getting this image and this. What do you call it? This. I don't know what the fucking word is, but they're becoming very mindful of how people perceive them, of how they look. What's that?
Facade.
No, I wouldn't say normally a facade, but just like they're getting, like you talk about it, Dylan's 19, so he talks a lot of this stuff because his friends are just trying to be something they're not, or trying to be something that other people want them to be, instead of being confident in themselves just to be what you're going to be.
Yeah.
And to understand that all body shapes are different. It's like, when you look at like a rugby team, like a rugby union, if you look at those guys, they're all different shapes, for all different functions. And you look at the little stocky guy with no neck and whatever, you think, he's like a fucking ox. And I thought, well, I wouldn't be that guy, because just my body shape would never get to that. So if I was a rugby, potentially I would be the guy on the right, longer legs, maybe I could run. And I think it's just that when you look at sport where we came from, there was different shapes and sizes for different skill sets. And that's where I think with this stuff sometimes through social media is that it's one size fits all, and well, never one size fits all. Genetically, disposition is different for us, as is. Why are the bloody Chinese so good at fucking gymnastics? They're agile, they're nimble, they're kind of good. Like, you don't normally see many Romanian gymnasts. It's just maybe Georgian, whatever the fuck, these big bastards. But I think certain cultures or certain people types, I don't know what the body type is. I remember my neighbour, she was like a DNA doctor, something like that. And when Frankie was born, she says, do you mind if I do a few little things on Frankie? So she measured all Frankie's joints, like limbs, and she's done a calculation. And she said that Frankie's going to grow up to be somewhere between 6'2" to 6'4".
Jeez.
So at the minute she's small, but based on, she said, because what she does is people who are really into their kids and fitness, whatever, they might go and see her because they want to learn, is a kid going to be more suited to tennis or swimming or riding, whatever. And she can use this calculation and then come back and say, there's a good chance they're going to be this size, this body type, so maybe these are the sort of things.
Sure.
That's not what we were into, she was my neighbour, and we were having a few wines one night, and she goes, let me just do it. And she went away and did it. She's going to do it with 6'2", 6, it's going to be the biggest. It's right now like Olivia's high. Frankie's there, and obviously the twins are shorter. I used to work for a guy, Ian Paget, who was right into freakonomics, that sort of stuff, like the economy of everything, numbers and fact. And he told me about that when he was looking at his kids. He got them all into swimming, like long distance swimming, not the sprint stuff. Because his kids' body types were more aligned to that as boys. I thought, when I came from Glasgow, it's just like, you did something because you liked it. And I think there's something nice about just doing that. It's like, do you like it? All right, do it. Don't like it.
If your kids don't like swimming?
Don't do it. I know I don't want to not encourage kids to swim or do whatever, but I always believe do more of what you like to do and less of what you don't like to do, because I remember at school they would always try and make you focus on your weaknesses, and I could never get my head around that. I thought, I'm never going to understand A plus B equals Y and Z. You just taught me for 7 years A to Z. It's an alphabet and it makes up letters. Now you've fucked it right up because you've thrown it into maths. And I just get my head around numbers adding up to things. Now you're saying it's a fucking X plus. It doesn't. It just doesn't. And there's no need for it to equal that. My mind just, why would I want to understand that? I just look so far from there. I don't mind reading a book or having a chat or making a scone and fucking or making a table. I'm down or playing football all day. I think I was really good at just getting by at the stuff I did. And I'm so glad nobody was there to try and push me into these fucking areas, because it just bamboozled me. It totally just bamboozled me, and I never think, why do I need to do it if there's a calculator? If I just press all these buttons, what's that for? Am I going to adopt the early adoption of technology? Back to calculators, the new iPhone. But for us, it's like, your parents, they pen and paper. No, those fucking things you have to add up. So life's becoming a lot easier for us, but yet we're becoming dissatisfied with many things, and I think it's because we're not actually putting ourselves up there to do the things that actually help us stay grounded and purposeful and all this good stuff. Like sit and try to work it, and like my daughter, she's sitting and does maths. She'll rhyme off stuff, and I don't know. She'll say, she gets confused because I don't know the answer. I said, I never knew the answer when I was your age. I don't fucking know it now. And my life's been all right. I managed to get here without knowing that. But she's the opposite. She's detailed. She loves to know how that sort of shit works. Well, Frankie, she's a bit like me. She's like, she just cruises through the day. And
do you think it's better set up these days for those kids? Like, I sort of felt maybe when we were at school, it was like maths, English, know it, or you're an idiot.
You're gone.
But now they sort of play to the strengths of the kids. I feel like that.
I believe so, 100%. I believe that the chances of kids falling through the cracks is going to be a lot less in today's, let's talk about today's Australian society, because there's a lot more knowledge. But I would always say to them, why don't you bring in yoga? Why is yoga not part of the fucking teaching? Why is mindfulness? Teach the kids how to bounce back instead of all this unnecessary pressure to get these numbers, and these numbers are not for your child, these numbers are for the school to fucking snare the next fucking gullible parent to come in and start paying the money to get these fees. It don't really matter anymore. So I do believe that nowadays there's a lot more discussion in schools. I was even talking to some kids at Byron High, and they do jiu-jitsu as a class.
Right.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
So it's mixed male, female, but jiu-jitsu, they get it once a week or twice a week, 1 hour per session as part of it. And that's good, because to get people to sit and just take knowledge in, it's just boring as fucking batshit. Put them on the mat, teach them respect and discipline and control and self-awareness and all those wonderful things that you will learn on the mat. You won't learn in a class. You've got to start applying these things. There was a guy, a very intelligent professor guy in England, who was on a TED Talk. Because I was never a big fan of schooling, because it didn't work for me. It doesn't mean it's not going to work for everyone, just for me. And he was telling a story of a girl who, in the fucking 60s or the 70s, whatever it was told she was disruptive, and the parents would want to get rid of her at the class because she couldn't sit down. She wouldn't sit and be a clone like everyone else, and she would always be up dancing or being disruptive. That's kind of, I was that kid. I can connect with that person, because I was always a kid sat in the corner. I was always told to sit over there away from people, because I was disruptive. I get it, I was disruptive. So her parent then took the kid to a child doctor. They went in there, and the parent was really concerned or whatever. And the doctor said to the parent, just come out with me a minute, and told the girl to sit there and put on some music, came out, shut the door. He said, watch your child. And she just stopped dancing. He said, there's nothing wrong with your child. Your child just wants to dance. She feels music, she feels that. He said, so you've got to take her to a school where there's dance, get involved with dance. And the professor guy was giving this talk, he said, thank God back in the 60s or the 70s there was no ADHD drugs.
Yeah.
Because what they would have done was they would have written a script, they would have given the parents these sedative drugs, and they would have taken away everything she had to give to the world. He says, now here's the interesting part. He says, that girl is now Andrew Lloyd Webber's creative director. She's produced over 1,000 shows. She's marvelled hundreds of millions of peoples with the dance of cats, Sophisticats, and all those fucking wonderful plays that many people who enjoy opera, probably those fucking teachers that told her to sit down, are now sitting in the audience, enjoying what they tried to take away from that young girl. But only due to the free-mindedness of this doctor that said, your daughter just wants to dance. And that's the thing, is that not every kid wants to just sit. It's hard to sit. I know how hard it is to sit. I can't sit for too long. I've got to do stuff. It's like, I've got an energy inside my body. I've got to use it. I've got to do stuff. And kids, imagine what they've got. They just bust it, you fucking run. That's when the bell goes up. Ah! I just like that freeness of children to be free. And I like it because I take it on board for me to also be free See, also to free my mind from any of these conditions I've put on, I can't, I shouldn't, I got it, I shouldn't, I can't do this. Like, they don't give a fuck. They eat when they're hungry, they play all the time, and they sleep when they're tired. We went through this whole conditioning. You wake up, you gotta eat, and you gotta get dressed, and you gotta go to school, and you gotta do that, and you don't really. We've just let it become that. So for me, it's the schooling system nowadays, especially living in Byron Bay, there's homeschool, there's free schools, there's Steiner schools, there's community schools, and there's a mixed bag of people's ideologies. I find up here, which is quite refreshing. I'm not going to use the word concerning, I would just say refreshing, because I never want to try and put my thing onto someone else. If that's what they believe is the right thing to do with a child, then that's what it is, that's the right thing for them to do. But I think it's quite a refreshing approach that just, the kids don't need to be railroaded through this system, which is a monetary system. And that's for me, what parents say, oh, you've got to get a good education. I said, well, what does that mean? What is a good education in today's world for them? Because the jobs they're going to get are not the jobs you're after. Their system is moving so fast. It's a technology-driven system, and we're educating them for fucking stuff that's prehistoric. What is it really? What do you mean a good education? Do you know, what does that mean for you, good education?
Yeah, I think it's been a big one on the environment. I think you become a product of your environment, so I'm happy if our kids are both involved in surrounding themselves with good people, in values in terms of to respect others, treat them how they'd like to be treated. Those are the most important lessons I'll take out of school. And if they pick up a few other tricks, it's going to end them in getting into a career or a lifestyle that makes them happy. Then that's all I can hope for. And I count myself lucky. Doing insurance wasn't my passion. Working behind a bar wasn't my passion. It's shit I did. But now this is just such a rewarding and passionate experience. Only being involved with you get to meet so many wonderful people, see some amazing stories of people turning their lives around from reasonably sedentary to now they're active. You can tell they're happier within themselves, and it's not necessarily about being the next Al McPherson, but they're just being the best version of themselves, which is a cheesy line, but that's all you can ask for, and that's what we want I certainly want from our kids, just to be the best that they can be. So the schools they're at seem to be providing that at the moment. They've got a really good group of friends, so life's good.
For me, it's like I hear people's, I don't expect nothing from school. I think we're lucky to have a system that allows the kids to go somewhere, and I think that's a privilege. And because you like the kids to be happy, to have a good group of friends, to have fun and make their way through life and discover. And I think sometimes the period I came out of, maybe you came out of, sometimes it was too much. Dylan, his pressure, his crew is like being forced to be a lawyer, being forced to be a doctor, being forced, but not really having. And the unfortunate thing is, I think we have this blindness that we're going to live forever. You get 24 hours in a day the same as me. How many days we're going to get? No one fucking knows. And then what are you going to do with those days? So there's kids that come out of school and then go to study to be something that's 7 years studying or 10 years studying, and then get to the point and go, I don't want that. Well, they're now nearly 30 years old. 30 years old. For fuck's sake, it's like, and all that childish immaturity and fun and excitement has all been battered out of you by a system that's just tried to educate you to be this. And then you get to the stage and you're like, fuck, some people love it and good on them, fantastic. For some people, I've met many people, it's like, what the fuck am I doing now? And by the time of getting from that point to that point, they've bought a house, they're in debt, they've got kids at private school, and they're fucking stuck. The system's won again. Because you can't, unless you're prepared to significantly change that and upset the lives of many, your children, your wife, whatever, you kind of keep going to pushing through that, because the alternative is maybe not there for you. I don't, look, one of the chats I had with Dylan is like, on his podcast is that a lot of his friends are, what is it, your friends are questioning you about being forced not to be, or it's alright to be lost and trying to figure out who the fuck you are or where you're going.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's just like, if you start doing your own thing, like the old mates like you change, and you're supposed to change. I think it's like in that group circle when you first leave school, everyone expects you to just stay around and be mates forever, but when one of you leave, it's just like, oh, what? Thought you're going to be around forever. And you've basically grown out of them, and then when you come back, it's just, they're still talking about the same stuff, still talking about the same old people. It's like you don't want to be around them anymore. So, yeah, I think it's just that environment where they don't, they don't know that they don't want you to grow, but when you're around them, you're just not growing, so you're just not around them. Does that make sense?
No.
Yeah, like they're stuck in the treadmill whilst you're out running through the hills.
People don't want to be. Some people don't want to be rude because that's not for us. You're supposed to be a heating engineer, a plumber, a brickie, a bus driver, a taxi. That's what it was supposed to be. I never found happiness. I never found happiness, but they weren't exciting. I thought, I want to be an actor. My mates would always say, fuck off, fucking actor, fucking. But I kept with it. And then they started to believe me. And then I started to get a few little jobs. I had no fucking idea. I tell my sister that sometimes, I think many people where I come from, and maybe many people who just want to get by in life and do something different, is best to say yes and then try and figure out how the fuck you're going to do it afterwards. And I always describe it, I said, you know when you were a kid and you went to the big leisure slide and you had the big slide and you had to like walk up 100 steps to get there and you came sliding down. But on the way down, you were fucking bashing up the sides, bang your head, and that's like my life, that's like life, I think, because until I get to the bottom and then I hit this big pond or the swimming pool of where I can belong and I find Cameron, then you start swimming. But you got to bash it along the way because those are the years of experience when you just say, yes, I'm going to have a crack at something. And that's, for me, that's the best learning you can get. Because sometimes it's too easy to say, oh no, I can't do that, oh no, that's, I can't, oh. And then your group of friends around you are like, oh no, you shouldn't do that because we're all going to go and do this. And you go, fuck, maybe I should just go and do that. No, don't do that, do the opposite. There's like many people I talk to, it's like, I say to people, when you drive home, do you take the same road? And it's pretty hard up here because there's no many fucking roads, but I always try and take the opposite road, just because. Even if I've got to double back on myself, I know I'm going to see something down that road I've never seen before. It might be a bit of treasure on the street, somebody's chucking at a chair, it's a nice job, pick that up. Or it could just be something different, just new landscape. Always taking that different road home. Why? People say, why do you do that? It's not the quickest road. I said, but I'm not trying to be quick. It's not about me getting to that point just because you want to get to that point. So I've always got mates who say, oh, you should be here at this time. No, you be there at that time, and I'll get there when it's got 45. These are just suggestions. So it's like, you've got to find this, if you earn freedoms in your life, are you prepared to stay true to the belief you want to live your life by? Then all those things just bounce off you and you just keep moving forward. And I kind of had that as a young child. I talked to my daughter. She's influenced by other girls. All the dances going on there and the lady stuff's happening. And I think, and there's a lot of questions. So I want to be present. I always said, look, when I my father was never present in my life. So I want to be present for her life to give the male perspective because in the house it's all fucking woman. I want to have the other perspective that just, hang on, that's all I need, let me tell you about this. Do you have that same relationship?
I hope so, yeah, definitely. I heard a good quote years ago that the ship is safe in the harbour, but that's not what ships are built for.
Or captain's
I used to see, when I was in the pub, the same group of blokes that worked same job for 30 years at the pub, every arvo, have their 10 pots, go home, do it all again. It was like a fucking rodent on a wheel. And I thought, fuck. If I went on a holiday, it was the same spot, the same people. And I thought, fuck mate, I'm never going. I don't want to end up like that. I don't want to be doing this. I want to go out and just have a look at the world. And yeah, that's why I ended up trying out the Gold Coast for a year, and all of a sudden I was there for 15.
Well, where are you from?
Here, Victoria.
Oh, right, so you're
Victorian.
Victorian.
Yeah, so grew up down there, and great lifestyle, great. Everything was good. And I'm not saying those people have a bad life.
No,
it's not the life
that's
I
their
want
life.
to live. And just lucky to. My wife is bloody adventurous and always organising some. Giving us the opportunity to see the world and do different things, and I always think about those folks. They're probably still there doing the same thing.
My mates are the same, doing the same stuff. And I like to go back to remind myself how much I've changed. They've changed, when they're growing up, but I've changed a fucking lot. It's like, and that's what happens. Like, so it's huge when you go back to those guys 20 years later, you'll be like, wow. Because you grew up like that, and then just even a small degree of that over the years, that becomes very, very significant. You become very different people. So right now, you still have similarities talking to your pals. I've just finished school debating, but give it 20 years, you'll be like, what the fuck? I remember you. You used to be like, you used to be fun and exciting, and you used to want to. Now look at you.
You're wearing different coloured fucking socks.
Yeah. Every day.
Every day.
Shorts with holes in them.
Actually, I went to Mr. Simple the other day. I said, can I get 40% off because it's not online? And the guy goes, it's actually been increased to 60% off. So I bought 5 pairs of shorts. Fuck yeah.
The more you spend, the more.
And a Scottish guy in there, it's not like a bargain. So one of the discussions we have with my wife is that I want to put them usually on special. Like, I want to promote it to other people. Say, oh no, you can't promote it because we're not a discount brand. I said, don't you love a special? Don't you love something on discount? And she would always give me the no, I don't love it because she's a bit posher than me. Actually, much posher than me. But I represent the working man. I want a fucking deal. I want, if those shorts were $100 and I got them for $40, I'm up. I know they're still up. My commercial mind tells me they're still making money, but not as much as they were going to make. So I got 5 pairs of shorts, and I'm a happy camper. And I'm going to tell other people because that sale's still on. And that you can have any colour you want as long as they're black. They're all black shorts.
Mate, take that ship out of the harbour. Get some pink ones.
But that was the thing. I had this statement of that before. It's like ships and captains were never built to be stuck in the harbour. You want to be a good captain? You want to take that ship? You've got to take it out to the fucking rough sea. Because nothing's rough forever, and I think that's what people need to learn. Is that growth is a wonderful thing, but growth can be challenging. It can be upsetting. It can be experience-driven, but it's not forever. It's just that even the world, this coronavirus is fucking bullshit. It's not forever. It's a new thing that's popped up. Scientists and all those boffins will get on with it, deal with it. I just hope from this moment on we stop buying all this shit from those countries that create these fucking diseases. Maybe we don't need fucking an iPhone anymore. If we can't make it in this country or countries that share our lifestyles and belief system, then we shouldn't support these other countries. It just might mean a phone's going to be a fucking $500 more expensive. But look what everyone's going through today. It's like all this fear. And people are dying for this fucking... I don't like that. I try and don't look at the news too much, but I do look at it to see how this thing's unfolding with this virus. I think it's often these regions where they have very little respect for animal life, human life, and all these bugs that come from these places. And now we've opened up the borders, and we're sending all our workforce to these places to build that there and make that. You know when you go to like a kitchen, you get those face masks and hair nets. Like when you go to like a big posh place, they're all made in Wuhan.
Yeah, right.
The epicenter of that fucking drug.
Yeah, right. Sure. So I know just from our previous conversations, you provide a pretty robust in terms of teaching your kids resilience and that. Do you worry about resilience of the general population these days?
Yeah. Today's a great example. How people are reacting. These fear. It's like, what the fuck has toilet paper got to do with the virus? And if there's one thing in life we could do without, it's probably toilet paper. Yeah. Use the hand and give it a wash, or use the bidet. But toilet paper is an invention created by a marketing initiative.
Sure.
It's not something we actually really need. I always question why we have things. Why do we have that? Because it was created by a team of creatives that say, oh, we're going to need this to finesse the toilet, and then we build these little toilet holders. I just think people need to... Discipline and resilience is something that's, I think, is getting lost in our generations. It came out of our countries in the 40s and the 30s after the war when people had nothing. So you have to be resilient. And some of those war-torn places in the Middle East, they're as fucking as resilient as possible. And I just think that is something that needs to be taught and learned. And the upsetting thing is, people think, yeah, they just go to the doctor. It's like when a kid falls down and runs straight to his mother, the mother picks it up, and that's very motherly. But there comes a time when you got to stop that. That kid has to get back up. And I don't. If my kid's fallen down, I'm in the schoolyard, and people are looking at me. It's like, oh, she fell down. It's like, she'll get back up. I'm not going to be there for her. She has to do this shit herself. And even if it's a fucking little bit of blood, come on, she can deal with it. Just this over necessity to cotton wool everything. It's like we don't We need to be hard shells, and that doesn't mean we need to be disrespectful and rude. No, that's resilience, and those wonderful things enhance those other benefits to be a better person. I just hope schools and all those other places build resilience, because what social media does is takes it away. So when people are looking at all these images of all these fucking superstars with their t-shirts out or their fucking tits out showing their ass, whatever, that was one shot of maybe 1,000 that they took to get the perfect shot. I think someone's got to set up a business that says, here's the untold stories, or the real stories. Because that doesn't build resilience, because if you're pinpointing your life on those things, you're never going to get it. Some people have got a bigger ass than others. Irrespective of how many fucking squats you do, you're never going to get that ass. That's a genetic, people have got an ass like that. And I just think that resilience is just, if it came in a tablet, everyone should have some, but it doesn't. You have to earn it, and you have to expose yourself to the world to be aware of what resilience means. It's like getting up in the morning to go and do something you don't want to do. It's like coming to F45. They'd make it a little bit easy for you by putting the shit on the screens. You just got to get here.
That's it.
So by you building a social environment, somebody might feel like someone else down. Oh, I normally train with fucking, I'm going to go. And they'll get here and say, thank God, I'm glad you were here, because I wasn't going to come because you weren't here. Those are the small daily acts. Whether it is, as Dylan mentions a lot, it's like get up and move every day, go for a run. Those small daily acts build resilience. I've started having a cold shower every morning. This morning was the coldest one ever. But I'm in there like, my daughter Olivia, she just walks right in there and she just stands there. It's like her tolerance level is so way above mine. Whereas I'm dancing and screaming and jumping in the net of it, trying to make it work. Because my mind's already told me, oh, could be cold this morning. Oh, there's about 1 million conversations subconsciously that took place without me being part of it, that set me in the wrong state to walk in the shower. Whereas if I just walked in the way Olivia walked, I was like, all right, it's cold, let's deal with it. But that was, I just want my kids, and I would love all people's children and all people of all walks of life just to take a lot of time for themselves to bounce back and realise nothing's forever. You lose your job, get over it, get another one. It's that people expect things to last forever. Jobs don't last forever. Friendships don't last forever. Relationships don't last forever. Remember how great they were when you had them. Full stop, next sentence, all right, next chapter. It's not the end. You know, it's like when you get to the end of the book, it says the end. When you're reading the book and there's highs and lows, it says chapter 2, chapter 3, it's the next chapter, and you start afresh. And I think that's what we need to remind ourselves of, that every day is like, irrespective of what we go through, young and old, it's all right. Nothing we're going through today has never been gone through by millions and billions before us. And they probably went through a lot worse than we did. We did it with Reebok shoes on and fucking organic cut shorts, sucking a latte.
I could Google how to fix it.
It's just, we have so much nowadays, we're forgetting just to accept things as what they are. It's like, what's it you say, gross set of balls, that's right. Toughen up, soft cock. I mean, they're quite derogatory statements, but they have such a powerful meaning. Back in the day when people used to use those words, no one wanted to be called a soft cock. Fuck yes. And then they would get up and they'd go and do it.
100% of the time they could find they could do it.
100%.
It's just all mindset.
Don't be the victim.
That's certainly, you got to keep reminding ourselves, we want to make sure our kids are onto it, that there's opportunities everywhere. So when the situation they're presented with doesn't fall exactly how they want it to, you go, right, how can I make this to my advantage? Get them thinking like that. Say, right, these aren't my friends, but shit, I might make a few if I get in there, show myself and get involved. So that's what I think that's a big thing for definitely the kids, and I've got to keep reminding myself of that every day
100%.
when you come in. Shit,
Kids become fearful. Adults become restricted, and you see that when kids go to a playground, they make friends that they fucking known them for their entire life. We all kind of stand in the corners. I don't do it. I'm right in there. And people find that confronting. But you just got to keep talking, and then you see the wall come down. It's like, oh, all right, I can do this. It's just a chat. It's like, get to know your neighbour.
Imagine if, say, some of the millions of people that you speak to every week gave you the cold shoulder. They've missed out on an awesome opportunity, made a good bloke, good banter. They might even learn a few tricks.
Their loss, never my loss. That's what I always say. I've got friends everywhere. I just hadn't met them yet. So I have no fear about going anywhere in life or doing anything, because I know friendships are there to be made. And unless you put yourself out there, you're never going to make those friendships. I never want my life to be restricted or in a small box and put away, because, like I said before, we've got 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
We're only here for a short time, it's not that long a time. So make sure that, for me, I love to be exposed to people, to places, to things new. I love to be made to question, how the fuck did you build that? Oh my god, how did you fucking make that? How did you do that sort of stuff? Whereas that middle classness, or that working middle classness, you know, I call it the colour-blind fence scenario. And everyone's put up the fence and said, "This is my fence, my fucking front yard, my double garage, fuck off, fuck yous." Whereas back when I was a kid in Glasgow, we all had nothing. So no one had a fence because it was a council house. So your garden became my garden, became his garden, because it was nobody's garden. And it was a very open environment. But I think when you work to get more in life, you kind of get it. It's kind of when we look at the political system, why it's so fucked in this country, is that we want to change, but we can't change because people have worked quite hard to get ahead, but they don't want to risk it to move forward. So we don't want to address the environment. We don't want to give up the jobs for coal and mining. We don't want to do all these things because we don't want to risk that. It's taking so much, but by doing nothing, you're doing the exact same thing. You're absolutely risking standing still. And by standing still, everything moves on, and the possibilities of losing what you work for is quite high. Whereas my belief is that mentality is the same mentality of when you drive home, you know, you see these marketing campaigns, you drive home, the double garage door opens and you drive right and the door shuts. I don't like those places because what makes a place is community. Community raises a family. If you've got no family, then you need your neighbours. You need to know who your neighbours are at the time of need. And I just wish we had more of that need to know your neighbours like we do now. Everyone, like coronavirus, everyone's talking about it. They want to talk to everyone because they want to get their opinion. Take away the need of fear and take away the joy of experience and exposing yourself to know your neighbour. To speak to the old lady across the street. She might become the best person that makes you jams and scones for your kids. You know, she might just need and that connection might give her another 10 years of life. She might just need that little something. Her family's moved away, her husband's died. You just don't realise that human connection that we have. When we're fearful, you see we all run in one direction, and you can see that in a lot of YouTube videos, wherever people react the same way when the guard's dropped. Very few people will stand still and be in that observing mode. We all run. And I think we're all the same, irrespective of these lovely things we all cover ourselves with or embody ourselves when we're driving in nice cars. We all have the same needs, and it's people. It's community, it's connection. It's a laugh, it's a joke. We all cry, we all shit, we all sneeze, we do the same stuff. And I think if we can find that more with each other, then we'll talk a lot more. And I think that's what's not. People are talking too much to shrinks and psyche and all this sort of stuff. Instead of just talking to your neighbour and you think, actually, there's nothing wrong with me. Because he feels the same thing. It's very normal human stuff. Just talk to people. Don't be afraid. There's no shame. This isn't the shame game. It's because if you're talking to someone about an issue you might be helping them addressing an issue that they may have. And then they both realise, actually, this isn't an issue. It's just
something they've created.
Yeah, I think for me, like my kid, I talk about everything. I swear in front of my kid. People say you shouldn't swear. Why? Fuck's in the diary. Tell me a word that I say it's not in the dictionary. It's a word. It's that people say, oh, you shouldn't swear, that you shouldn't say all these things. And I would say, you shouldn't use all those big words. You confuse me. You can say a fucking 13-letter word. It means nothing to you. So it tells me you're talking to yourself and not to your audience. I know fuck means a lot to everyone. These are simple words of communication that can mean a lot. Fuck bastard. And it can have so many meanings depending on how you say it. And so much relief. If you stub your toe, oh my goodness, just ain't going to cut it. Ain't going to cut it. There's only a few words that are going to help alleviate that pain. And it's a big X-rated. How are we going, Dylan?
Yeah, we're at 50 minutes.
Fucking hell.
Jesus Christ.
This is probably Dylan's point.
Have I got a word in yet?
Has he? Well, Dylan will edit it down, make sure you've got something.
Yeah, I got one for now. So what is your weirdest little habit that you do every day that you don't know if everyone else does?
I've got to, in terms of in here, I've got to make sure all the F45 labels are the right way, and all the weights are in order with the numbers up. So even on those red boxes, the black soft boxes, I like that they're all facing the same way.
It's a bit of OCD.
So, yeah, a little bit like that, I guess. But just
It's not company policy, this is your policy.
that's my policy.
There you go.
There we go.
So when I foresee shit out of place, it annoys me.
And
Not much annoys me.
When there's other people doing it, do you tell them to change it, or do you just go behind them and switch it to?
I've definitely at the start, I just went and changed it myself, but now I've started to get more comfortable. This is me. This is my fucking thing, so I can do it. My old man is publican. They used to have the old publican tables that had grains running through them, like lines. It was the grain of the timber.
Oh yeah.
So they had little square tables, and they all had to be run the same way for him. So if we went to another pub, and there were all these fucking tables, one's going horizontal, one's going vertical, he'd be out pulling the chairs, and lining them all up. He said that's how it is. And I guess it's something along like that. I was at F45 the other day, and I was moving the shit around. I said, hang on, this is my space.
No, so you've carried it on from your father?
I reckon.
Because that's a detail that he sees that no one else would really see. But people do see it because they don't actually see it, but they do see it because when I walk in, I saw those F45 things over there, those ball things, straight away my eyes are on it. It's an image thing.
Yeah.
I like that, Jimmy.
Good on you.
It's good to see you a little bit your old man's carried out here.
No, he's a good man, so...
If you're ever in the pub and you see James changing the tables, you know what he's up to. This is either his pub or somebody's put the table in the wrong way.
If I could put the table the wrong way. I'd upturn him.
Is that you?
That's a you?
You.
Finish her off.
No, thanks, mate.
That was the longest.
That was alright. Good to chat.
That was it. Stop that. Stop that.